the ruthless retail strategy that made Christo Wiese. A giant retail is one of the most unforgiving industries in the world. Margins are razor thin, competition is relentless, and every day thousands of stores fight for the same customer. Most retail companies fail, but one man managed to build an empire that dominates supermarkets across an entire continent, from small-town stores to thousands of locations across Africa. His name is Christo Wiese, a billionaire whose strategy reshaped the retail industry in South Africa. But his story is not just about success, it's about ruthless business decisions, massive risks, and one of the most shocking corporate collapses in modern history. This is the story of how Christo Wiese built a retail giant. The early years. Christo Wiese was born in South Africa in 1941. Unlike many billionaires who started in finance or technology, Wiese came from a very different background: farming. His family owned farmland in the Western Cape. From a young age, he understood something fundamental about business. Margins matter. On a farm, profits are small and every decision counts. You must control costs, you must manage supply, and you must understand your market. These lessons would later become the foundation of one of Africa's most powerful retail strategies. But Wiese's biggest opportunity came when he entered the world of retail. The ShopRite opportunity. In the late 1970s, a struggling supermarket chain was facing serious problems. That company was ShopRite. At the time, the business was small and financially weak. Many investors saw it as a failing retail company. But Christo Wiese saw something different. He saw potential. In 1979, Wiese bought a controlling stake in ShopRite. At the time, few people believed the company could survive. But Wiese had a strategy. Instead of targeting wealthy shoppers, ShopRite would focus on the largest market of all: the everyday consumer. Low prices, high volume, efficient supply chains. This strategy would change South African retail forever. The low-price empire. Christo Wiese understood something many retailers ignored. The biggest market in Africa wasn't luxury shoppers, it was ordinary people. Millions of consumers needed affordable groceries, so ShopRite built its entire strategy around one simple idea: be the cheapest. But achieving that goal required ruthless efficiency. The company invested heavily in logistics, distribution centers, supply chain optimization, bulk purchasing. The more stores ShopRite opened, the more buying power it gained. And that buying power allowed it to negotiate lower prices from suppliers, which meant lower prices for customers. And that created a powerful cycle. Lower prices attracted more shoppers. More shoppers meant higher sales. Higher sales allowed even lower prices. This strategy turned ShopRite into a retail powerhouse, dominating Africa. But Christo Wiese didn't stop in South Africa. He saw an opportunity across the entire African continent. Many African markets had limited modern retail infrastructure. Few large supermarket chains, weak supply chains, limited competition. For Wiese, this wasn't a problem. It was an opportunity. ShopRite began expanding into countries across Africa: Nigeria, Zambia, Mozambique, Angola, and many others. This expansion created something extraordinary: one of the largest supermarket networks in Africa. Today, ShopRite operates thousands of stores and serves millions of customers every day. But Wiese wasn't finished building his retail empire. The Pepkor power move. Christo Wiese also invested heavily in another retail giant, Pepkor. Through Pepkor, Wiese expanded his empire into clothing and discount retail. Pepkor stores targeted the same mass-market consumers as ShopRite. Affordable products, high store density, massive scale. Together, these companies created one of the most powerful retail ecosystems in Africa: groceries, clothing, household goods, everyday essentials. Wiese had effectively built a retail empire that served millions of people across multiple sectors. But then came the gamble that would shake everything: the Steinhoff disaster. Christo Wiese became heavily involved in another global retail company, Steinhoff International. Steinhoff owned major brands across Europe and beyond: furniture chains, retail stores, International assets. At one point, the company was valued at tens of billions of dollars. Wiese invested heavily and became one of the largest shareholders. But in 2017, the unthinkable happened. Steinhoff collapsed. A massive accounting scandal wiped out billions in value almost overnight. It became one of the biggest corporate scandals in modern business history. For Wiese, the losses were enormous. Billions of dollars vanished, and yet the core of his retail empire remained intact. The legacy. Despite the Steinhoff disaster, Christo Wiese remains one of the most influential figures in African retail, because the foundation he built still stands. ShopRite continues to dominate supermarkets across the continent. Pepcor remains a retail giant, and the strategy that built these companies is still studied today. A strategy built on scale, efficiency, and understanding the real market, the everyday consumer. In the ruthless world of retail, only the strongest survive. And Christo Wiese built an empire strong enough to dominate an entire continent. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Christo Wiese's success came from brilliant strategy or from ruthless business decisions? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy stories about billionaires, global empires, and the strategies behind them, subscribe to Income Royalty, because the next story might reveal the secrets behind another business empire.